And we are back. So I have reset the board, basically collected all of the workers and returned them to the available worker spots for the 3 players. You will notice that the white player, because they trained a worker last year, they have an extra worker this year. And we passed the first player marker over to the yellow player. So yellow gets to decide where they want to go in turn order. Well, yellow, if you recall, they got these wine order cards that are going to be tough to make, particularly this one. Now, you don't have to fulfill this, but he kind of wants to. And he also has these other vine cards that require structures. And to make this champagne, he's going to need cellars. So he needs to build structures. He needs to build his cellars. He needs to get his irrigation. He needs to get his trellis going. All of that requires money. So yellow decides this turn order is not super important. I'm just going to go to position 4 so that I get a free lira. All right, so yellow gets a free lira this round. Next, blue. Well, blue is looking over what he has here. He's already got his Pinot out there. That's pretty good. And he's got some grapes that are going. Yeah, but he feels like he might need he'd like some money too. And he already has 2 visitor cards. So yeah, blue is actually going to go all the way down here to position 6 because, hey, free victory point. So we're going to move our corks, is what they call them. Blue is now in the lead with 1 victory point. And finally, the white player, he is going to say, hey, you know what? I need some extra help. I am going to go down here to position 5, where I get to draw a summer visitor card or a winter visitor card. And since he already has a summer visitor card, what does this one do again? Let's remind ourselves. The handyman. Ah, yes. All players can build a structure, and you gain a victory point for each opponent who does this. Add a $2 discount. Interesting. So yeah, he's going to draw a winter visitor card to complement the summer visitor card. And what did he get here? The uncertified teacher. You can lose a victory point to train a worker. You may not use that worker this year. Ah, interesting. Similar to the professor that we saw earlier, but obviously a professor is better than an uncertified teacher. So good example here that not all visitor cards are created equal. Okay, so there's our turn order. This turn it's going to be yellow, white, blue. All right. So what does yellow want to do in the summer? Well, again, he needs structures. So he needs money. He's got 4 lira right now. It would cost him 2 lira to build that trellis, or 4 lira to build that medium cellar. Well, in any event, actually, you know what? He's going to gamble. He is going to try to get some money first and then try to build a structure. So he's going to go here, give a tour to gain 2 lira, and he's going to take the bonus spot that gets an extra lira. So he just gained 3 lira. All right, rolling in it. Let's see. Let's make a little change here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 actually. There. A little easier to keep track of. All right, white. Yep, white is going to. He's got that cool summer visitor card. He wants to take advantage of it. So he is going to go up here to the Play Summer Visitor card action space. So we look at his Summer Visitor card that we just looked at, the Handyman. All players may build a structure at a 2 lira discount. That's huge, but you gain a victory point for each opponent that does that. So everyone now can decide if they want to build a structure at a 2 lira discount. Well, the white player, he very clearly does, because he still needs his trellis. And a 2 lira discount from, focus, come on. All right, well, the trellis costs 2, so a 2 lira discount is nothing. So he gets to keep his money. Now, the other players have a choice to make. They can build a structure for really cheap, but by doing that, they're going to give the white player victory points. Well, the yellow player, he doesn't even have to think about it. That was his strategy going into this round, was to build structures. And he's thinking with all the money he has, he might be able to take advantage of this. So he is going to go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to build a structure at a 2 lira discount. And he is going to build the small cellar. So normally it costs 4, or I'm sorry, the medium cellar. We start with a small cellar. He's going to build the medium cellar. All right, so he has built that, and that only cost him 2 of his 7 lira. All right, but the white player, they get a victory point for that. Because now, the blue, they have to decide, are they going to do the same thing? See, they've already got their trellis. They're a little poor. They've only got 2 lira. And do they want to give white a victory point? Well, you know what? They might, because in their hand, they've got this Cabernet Sauvignon, which will make a really, really valuable red grape. But you need both the trellis and the irrigation before you can plant these grapes. So, yep, he's going to do it too. The irrigation normally costs 3. 2 lira discount only cost him 1. And he gets to build the irrigation. All right. And because he did that, again, the white player gains a victory point. So everybody benefited from that one. All right, and that was the white player's turn. So who goes after white? Blue. So all this has happened. Blue hasn't even taken a turn yet. What does the blue want to do? Well, you know what? Now he has his trellis and his irrigation. So now he's looking at this Cabernet Sauvignon. He wants to get that thing going. So his action is going to be plant a field. There you go. Plant a field, Mr. Blue Man. All right. I'm going to plant a field. Now, when you plant fields, there's a couple of restrictions. We'll take a look at field number 2 here. It says maximum vine value is 6. Well, what does that mean? That means if you add up all of the grape, and all of them say that, all the fields are the same basically. If you add up all of the grape values, so the Pinot has a 1 red and a 1 white, and we could add this Cabernet Sauvignon to it, so the total value of all the grapes in that field would be 4, 5, 6. That'd be it. That's the most we could put in that field. So we could choose to do that, or we could harvest our second field. Keeping in mind that, one of the actions in the winter is harvest 1 field, but the bonus is you could harvest 2 fields. So if we separated these and we got that bonus, we could bring down a level 1 red and a level 1 white, as well as a level 4 red. We'd be getting 3 grapes if we could harvest twice. Or we could do it together, have 6 total value of grapes here, and then if we harvest that one field, you don't actually get the same thing. If it's all from the same field, you add them all up. You'd get 4 plus 1, you'd get a single level 5 red, and then a level 1 white. That's what I think he's going to do. He wants to have a really valuable field there, get some really good reds going, milk that for all it's worth. Okay. So where were we? Yeah, that was the blue player's turn. Now we go back to yellow. What does yellow want to do? Well, yellow, yep, his plan was to build. And he has already built because of the white player's turn. He's got his medium cellar. Now he needs to get his trellis and his irrigation going. And he's going to start, he's going to start with the trellis. So he's going to take one of his workers. And first you have to take the build one structure space. And by taking the bonus space, he gets a 1 lira discount. So that trellis normally costs 2. It's only going to cost him 1. Oh, we'll make change. Get rid of the 5. There we go. And we get to have our trellis. There. Now that opens it up that we can plant our Pinot in the future. All right, who goes after yellow? White does. All right. Boy, white, his fields are looking pretty bare. Does not have any grapes. He needs to rectify that. And now that he's got his trellis there, he can plant his Pinot card. So, we're going to take a worker, go to the plant 1 vine spot. Now, he took the bonus spot that allows him to plant a second vine, but he obviously only has 1 right now. Pinot. And just for fun, he's going to put it in the middle. You don't necessarily have to, in the base game, have to fill up the fields in order. You can arrange them however you'd like. So he's got something going there. All right. White just went blue. What does blue want to do? Blue is thinking ahead. He's already got some grapes. He's got a pretty good field there. He's thinking he wants to save workers for the winter time. So blue is just going to pass. Slide that over. Back to yellow. Yellow, he's got a single grape. He'd like to get more. Should he plant? Yes, especially for teaching purposes. So he wants to get his Pinot card out also because he has his trellis now. Remember, we built that with the last action. So he is just going to take a worker and put it in the plant. In a 3-player game, and it says this right over here in the rules summary, 3 and 4 player game, you're only allowed to put 2 workers on any given space. So now that there's already 2 workers in the plant a vine card, yellow player seems like he's stuck. But the grande worker, remember I said we'd come back to this? This worker is a lot bigger than the other one. So what does that mean? That means the grande worker can do any action on the board, even if it's already full with other workers. So the grande worker can march his butt right in here. Boom! And even though technically that space is already full, there is no more room in the plant a vine action space, because remember, in a 3-player game, you basically ignore this 3rd spot. That's only for a 5 and 6 player game. The grande worker can override that space limit. So he can now take his Pinot card and plant it. And does he want to combine, or does he want to create a second field? Yeah, just for diversity and teaching, he's going to create a second field here. So the yellow worker now has two fields, one that'll create a level 1 white and another that'll create a level 1 white and a level 1 red. All right, so that was yellow. Back to white. White, what does he want to do? He's got an order. He's got to start making some stuff. And now that he's got his Pinot up there, he's going to pass. He wants to save up his workers, his two left for the winter time. And then, so blue has already passed. Back to yellow. Yellow is out of workers. He used them all up in the summer. So he's going to pass also. Okay. We go to fall. Everyone gets either a summer worker, or I'm sorry, a summer visitor card or a winter visitor card. They get to pick in turn order. So yellow, he gets to pick first. Yellow is looking here. He's got, like I said, this tough order to fill. He thinks he's going to need some help in the winter. He already has 2 summer visitors. So he's going to, no-brainer, going for the winter visitor card. The Master Vinter. And this says, increase the value of 1 wine token by 2 and fill a wine order. Wow, that's cool. So once you have some wine tokens over here, by playing that card, you can increase that wine's value, and then, if you have the appropriate order card, you can sell it. That's really cool. All right. Then, who gets to pick next? White. What the heck? White is just going to grab a summer visitor card. The Planter. Plant up to 2 fields. So that's a nice way to sort of circumvent if someone's already blocked that bonus ability on planting fields. You can play the Planter and plant 2 fields. Great. And finally, the blue player. He's got some things going on here. He's really low on money. And usually you're making money in the summer, so he wants a summer card, to maybe help him get some money in the future. And he got the buyer. Sell at least 1 grape at twice the regular price. Prediction granted. Something that'll help us get money and gain a victory point. So, we talked about playing those order cards so that you can sell your wine and get some victory points and get a little bit of money. But you do have the option in the summer to sell grapes. You see, you don't get very much money. It's if you sell something from this row, you get $1, 1 lira. This row is 2. This row is 3. But with our card, yay! We will be able to make we'll get to double that and get a victory point for it. Normally you do not get victory points for selling grapes. All right, winter time of year 2. We go back to turn order, yellow. What do they want to do? Well, yellow is all out of workers. They used them all up in the summertime. So yellow just says, thanks guys, but I pass. White. White has 2 workers left. And they have a little bit of money. They've got this winter visitor card that you can sacrifice a victory point to train a worker. Always good to have more workers. We should think about that, especially since white is in the lead with points. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So white is choosing to take their worker, and they are going to play a winter visitor card. And the winter visitor card they are going to play is the one we just looked at. That uncertified teacher. So, when we play a winter visitor card, it goes right there. We, by sacrificing a victory point, we get to take one of our workers. We don't get to use them this year, but for the rest of the game, another worker. Always good to have in a worker placement game. All right, blue. What does blue want to do? Well, if blue had more money, he would take that second spot in the play winter visitor card so that he could do this. Pay 3 lira, which is cheaper, to train a worker that you may use this year. So that's huge, but, you know, pay 3 lira, bum bum bum. Blue worker only has 1 lira. So, what does he want to do instead? Well, we got to make some wine, right? Because that's what this game's all about. So, take a worker, go over here to, we don't want to harvest field, we want to make up to 2 wine tokens. We could take this middle spot +1, meaning you could make up to 3 wine tokens. But again, if we look back, blue only has 2 grape tokens. So we can't take advantage of that bonus, so we're just going to take the regular spot. Stand up, you. All right, so we're going to make up to 2 wine tokens. When we make wine, we come over here, and for red wine and white wine, it's just 1 to 1. We have a level 2 red and a level 2 white. All right, so we're going to grab both of these, slide them over. We now have a level 2 red wine and a level 2 white wine. All right. So that's what the blue does. Yellow, he's already passed. We go back to white. With his last worker, white, well, he doesn't have anything going on. He just planted his fields. So he needs to get some grapes going. So he is going to harvest some fields, which is step 1 of making wine. So we're going to go over here, harvest a field. Look here, he's got that Pinot that creates a level 1 red and a level 1 white. So there's our level 1 red and white. All right, turn done. Blue's last move this turn. Well, you know, blue might be looking good because he's the only person that actually has wine. He's got wine in his cellar. Look at that. Exciting. But we look in his hand. All he has is visitors. He has no wine orders. No one wants to buy his wine. He needs to fix that. So, takes his last worker. And he's going to go up here to the, I don't know what you call it, the shop maybe. This says draw a order card, and if we move this grande worker out of the way, see, there's the action draw, and if you take the bonus, you get to draw a second one. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to draw 2 wine order cards and see what they say. All right, interesting. So we've got a level 6 blush that someone wants to buy. And, oh, now this person really likes their white wine. They want a level 4, a level 3, and a level 2 white wine. If we can sell them 3 wines of at least this value, 4 victory points. Okay. Well, we have something to shoot for. All right, so that was blue. Yellow has already passed. White, out of workers. So they pass. Blue, out of workers, so they pass. All right, that's the end of the year. So what do we do at the end of the year? Well, we age our grapes. So the grapes are all going to age. The wine is all going to age. And we go over here. It just has the one there. Okay. We age our grapes. We collect residual payments. No residual payments yet. Make sure you don't have more than 7 cards in your hand. Yellow, he likes to collect cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. And we're good over here. And good up there. All right. And rotate the first player. All right, so now let's collect our workers and start year 3.